Hello, hello. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am broadcasting from an undisclosed location, not the typical studio setup, so you'll notice that behind me, what I've got is a different color backdrop, so I had to pull, it's called matte extraction, I had to pull a chroma key, from something that's not quite as good as a green backdrop, so that's why it kind of makes my skin tone disappear, and anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but it's going to be a little rough today, just a little bit, because I'm not at my regular studio, not quite back at the office yet. Expect that quality of broadcast to return on Monday, right? When we come back to Monday, Tuesday, the regular publishing schedule. Unnamed Sunday Crypto should be live tomorrow, perhaps instead of being delayed. So expect to see my brother Aaron and myself probably live tomorrow for a live version of the Unnamed Sunday Crypto Show. But guys, thanks so much for jumping in. This is a little bit rough right now. Before we jump into anything that could be considered a scam for the Scambuster Saturday, guys, let me throw out the disclaimer right now. I got a little bit of pushback based on my publishing of the chat log that the conversation that I had with Seb Green. Let me make it very clear that I don't want to lump the conversation that I had with Seb Green into this category of scam. I don't think that what he's running is a scam. Let me be very clear about that on the record, and I don't want to try to influence people either to use his pools or not to use his pools. That's entirely up to you. You've got to figure out whether or not that's the right choice for you. I know plenty of people who pointed their mid-sized minds at his pools and not been swindled. They've gotten the quality and they've gotten the value that they thought they were getting based on the hash rate that they were sending to the pool. So do your own research. It's like everything in mining, right? I will, however, ask for feedback on which pool operators I should approach, about asking, hey, can you show us a bit more about your operation? Tell us more about luck. Tell us more about uncles. Tell us more about some of these considerations that we have to make when we're choosing a pool operator and when we're choosing how to focus our hash power for various coins. So guys, expect that in the coming weeks. Big shout out to Seb Green for rolling with the punches. I published our chat log without asking him before. That happened. So did I do something wrong? That's up to you guys, right? That's for you guys to decide. What I'll say about it is that I did something that was not explicitly prohibited. So I didn't break any rules, didn't break any laws, and even according to federal wiretapping regulations, I didn't do anything that's illegal. And Seb, to his credit, was super cool about it and said, hey, I'm just going to publish the entire chat log. Is that all right? I said, yeah, sure, fine. So gentleman's agreement between the two of us for me to publish a semi-edited version of our conversation so that it plays well, sounds like a conversation, instead of like, I mean, you know how chat threads are, right? Where it's kind of fragmented. One person interjects while the other person is still typing. It's a little different from a regular conversation. So I really appreciate that Seb has been super cool about at least me publishing it, and then about setting the full record out public. If you want to read the entire thing, it's there in the comments section. That said, from what I could tell last time I read, it matches my chat log perfectly. That said, you can't believe everything you see, hear, or read, right? Like, I openly admitted that mine is partially redacted and that it is edited. However, I made every effort to keep as many of Seb's words and concepts, keep them concept perfect in the video description, right? In the audio that I edited into that particular segment. All right, guys, without further ado, I'm going to go, again, this is kind of a rough setup that I have right here. Don't have dual monitors, so it's going to bear with me while I get stuff set up over here in the corner. So here we are. Yay! Infinite scroll. Ugh. But I'll pop out of this view, go into this view. All right, as you can see, I'm over on Amazon.com. And what I'll say about this is that people have accused me like, oh, Seth, that was so unethical for you to publish that chat log because we know you're earning money. Oh my gosh, guys, I've got to be able, at some point in the near future, I'm just going to share with you how much is actually earned by publishing YouTube videos, what the actual revenue split is for the number of views that a channel like mine gets. I am not, like, based on what I actually bill per hour for consulting, let me frame it this way. In the several months that you guys have followed my content, I would do better to get a 1-week contract of consulting versus all of the videos that I've done combined. So am I doing this for the money? No. Am I doing it for the fame or notoriety? Not necessarily, unless that helps the community, right? I mean, you want a trusted source, and I don't mind putting my face and name to that trusted source and working for it, guys. If you think I've done something inappropriate, by all means, let me know. I'm open to hearing the parallax view. I'm open to hearing opposing views. What I did as a professional facilitator for Fortune 10 companies. Not always going to name drop like that, guys, but that's the reality. It's not bragging if it's true. But when I was a facilitator and trainer for Fortune 10 companies, that's what I did, was take sometimes wildly opposing views and figure out how to get people to just come together and talk. Okay, so that doesn't bother me at all when people say, hey, Seth, I disagree with what you did. That said, I knew it was a risk, right? I knew it was a risk talking openly about Seb's pools and talking openly about how there would be, they might be controversial. So, guys, let me do everybody here a favor and pop open a chat log. So, you're going to see a little bit of the back end of my YouTube dashboard here. Alrighty, you'll see right there. There are comments. Let me see if I can just pop this out right here. So I'm going to pop out the chat, and that ought to help get a little bit more clarity on what everybody's saying while I am streaming, so it's not too confusing. There we go. It's even got a nice, pleasant, dark theme, so it's easy to read. And right there, get rid of that and hop back over to here. Guys, again, am I earning like crazy money? No, not earning crazy money. So John, I want to say, yeah, and I apologize, guys, attribution, this was community sourced. This idea of doing a Scambuster Saturdays, it was from the community. Thank you so much, Mind Your Biz community. I think it was Sir John Alexic, that you made the recommendation, so I really appreciate it. So, yeah, so Terry B brings up a really good point here. He says, with YouTube, you need to be getting roughly 1 million views per month to earn minimum wage. Yeah. And if you're, like he's saying, if you're running ad block, that revenue is cut way down. It's really chopped down to a bare minimum. So no, the ad revenue on YouTube is not why I'm doing this. And BitTube, though, like airtime it's very promising. The airtime feature of BitTube is very promising. Even that will not make up for what I typically charge as a consultant or what my professional rate is based on my professional experience. So this is something that I really do still do as a community service. And it's important, right? We have to have the transparency. If we want to move forward as an industry, here we are 10 years into this whole experiment with cryptocurrency and blockchain projects, right? In a post-Bitcoin world, 10 years, and we haven't really gotten to the point where we've seen something truly transformative other than maybe Ethereum, the Ethereum virtual machine. It's cool stuff, right? It's cool tech, but has it completely radically transformed the world yet? No, it hasn't. And so I contend that a lot like Linux and the open source community, if we want to make really bold moves and we want to take really lengthen our stride as a community, we need more transparency and we need people to do stuff not strictly for the financial incentive. A bit like how open source developers do, a bit like how the Linux community has for decades now, right? For 2 decades. So we need more of that. And we need to try to get some of the bias out of the space, right? Everybody's shilling a coin. Everybody's shilling a project. I am trying not to be that guy, right? I'm really pushing to be the person that can just bring coins to the table and ask them, tell us about your team. Tell us about where you came from. Tell us about where you're going, right? Essentially, lean methodology, the agile questions if you're a scrum master, right? Being able to just ask them, try to account in some meaningful way for your involvement in the space. So hopefully we can continue to move forward. I mean, shoot, if I did 3 coin projects a day, it would still take me all year just to catch up on half of the coins that are listed on CoinMarketCap. Think about that. And I would never be able to catch up. doing 3 coin projects a day, if I could interview 3 coin projects a day, we would barely be able to start catching up. And all of us as an audience, like we would be totally overloaded, right? Fatigued at the number of questions that they had to answer and the number of projects that we had to try to track, and figure out, like, is this worthwhile? Is this worth pursuing? So your suggestions are really helpful. It's big shout out to the community on Discord. When you mention that there are coins that you want me to interview, that helps a lot. It helps a whole lot to figure out what to prioritize. So thank you so much for your involvement. Thank you for letting me know what you think is worth checking out. All right, guys. So Vladimir, you're saying thanks for opening our eyes. I appreciate you putting it that way. Again, big shout out to Seb Green for just being willing to roll with the punches here, because I did something that was unexpected, but again, not explicitly prohibited. He didn't say, don't publish our conversation, and I didn't break any laws by doing it. So I appreciate that he's willing to extend me the flexibility of playing by the rules that some accuse him of using in the blockchain and pool operator space. I don't know. Some people have said nasty things. I can't confirm it. I can't deny it. So I'm not going to condemn the guy publicly. All right. So yeah, Terry, to your point, I don't think there's any point in doing all of the coins out there. And, I'm going to leave the comments where they are right now, guys. I'm sorry. They're going to scroll behind me, as you see on screen, but I can see them. So it helps me be up to speed with what we need to talk about. So, guys, some projects in terms of Scambuster Saturday. I've got a couple that were brought to my attention by a local mid-scale mine operator. Previously had a mine with about 300 GPU machines at about, an average of about 8 GPUs per machine. You do the math. So not huge, not large scale, not multiple airplane hangars worth of GPUs or airplane hangars worth of ASICs. So, hey, Punkyaj, thank you. I appreciate that. It's already Sunday in Manila. Hey, sweet. I'll have to visit sometime. So I've got friends not far from Manila, and all of my friends from where I grew up in California. Might sound weird. Here's a little bit of background for Seth. But growing up in an area of Ventura County, California, several really good friends who were Filipino, and so yeah, lots of love from Manila, lots of love for the Philippines, guys. Good people. Khalid, you're asking when moon? Well, the answer is always hopefully yesterday, but probably tomorrow, maybe soon TM. We'll see. Anyway, so guys, let's talk a little bit about a couple of things that are just kind of generally important to the community. First off, important to me, if you haven't already checked out the mineyour.biz swag store on Amazon, I've got stuff there. I've tried to list stuff just as inexpensively as possible, but if you just type in mineyour.biz as a search function on Amazon, the only things that are going to come up are the mineyour.biz official merch items. Now, like Hungry AF for Crypto shirt, that one I went with $23.99, and I brought it back down for the I Love Your Face t-shirt. Generally speaking, about $20 shipped with Amazon Prime shipping. So shipped for free to your place. I don't think you can get a better price than that. So I just did it because it's fun, right? Tiniest bit of margin there. It's actually the lowest price that Amazon will let me price those at. So just did it for kicks. If you want to support, you can get the This GPU Can Hash All Night shirt. I think it's awesome. And that's why I made the design, because, I'm still bullish on GPUs, guys. FPGAs are awesome in theory, but they're not here. So GPUs are hashing profitably today in our basements, in our offices, in our back rooms, out in the shed, and we're making money with GPUs today. So can this GPU hash all night? Well, yes. Yes, it can. Alrighty. If you haven't seen BitcoinDeadYet.com, just go to www.bitcoindeadyet.com, and I anticipate building this out just a tiny bit. It's kind of a gag site. Yeah, kind of a gag site. Oh, newbie. Thank you. This is a very